So I think that AI is going to ruin the world.
They're going to take a lot of jobs, but they're also going to create a whole new economy too. Elon went to talk to the president about the dangers of AI and to stop OpenAI.
They are going to marry an AI that looks, walks, and talks just like a man or a woman.
I guarantee it. It's not Netflix. It's going to be a Netflix type that's going to broadcast married with AI.
But when I say the world, I think it's going to take over the human race.
Maybe the purpose of humans was only to create AI.
I just birthed a robot, like, and the hands just come out like.
Speaking Mandarin from the jump? AI for Jesus.
AI for Jesus.
Brand new caddy.
168. AI taking over the world.
So, I mean,
AI on the ones and twos.
Really, let's just jump into it. Why not?
Yeah, so I think that AI is going to ruin the world.
Let me go ahead and flip this old bad boy over. As you guys know, we got to make sure before we start this conversation, 168 hours. Out of 168, 167 of those hours, we make sure that we nice, we kind,
loving each other.
we loving on each other and
What's
stuff.
up?
How you doing? But in that last hour, we got to make sure we real with y'all. So we got 30 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we go to overtime today.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like I was saying, I think AI is going to ruin the world. I think it's going to end the world. It's supposed to be made to save the world, make it better, make things happen faster and more efficiently. But when I say the world, I think it's going to take over the human race.
So you think that we're developing our own master?
Oh, yeah. We're developing our own master. We're developing whatever is going to eventually develop a conscience of its own and take over everything.
So that's the thing. Like, I've been hearing some people talk about this. So if they don't know what we're talking about like artificial intelligence. It's been around for a while. It's not like it just started, but now it's starting to get to a place where it's not just techie. It's like mainstream. You know, they had ChatGPT that just came out.
You got
Midjourney, all these different AI platforms, and it's like open and they're so intelligent. So now it's like, how far can this thing go?
How far can it go?
Let me tell you, I'm kind of on the fence on this one.
Okay, tell me.
So I'm on the fence on this one because on one side, can it delete us?
Yes, and control out delete humankind.
I think it could delete us, right?
Yes.
But then on the other side, can it make like the poorest of the poorest person have a better standard of living? I think it could.
Yeah, but I think it can get to the point where they're like a slave to it, though.
But they are, like, imagine the poorest person that's already living on the street. We live out here in LA where literally you have droves of people on the street. But imagine if you had, you know, artificial intelligence that could be able to solve a lot of their problems, food problems, you know, money problems, a whole bunch of things.
I wonder at what cost, though. Like, I'm sure they can be able to solve a lot of major world problems. Sure, I think so. But what is the cost? Like, because I feel like with everything, there's a cause and effect. There's like something you're having to give up to get something. There's going to be someone disappointed or pissed off with almost any decision made in this world.
So question for you then.
Yes.
Would you rather keep life how it is right now and never advance anymore? Would you just keep it exactly how it is? And that's it for the human race. This is what we do.
Or
advance. Like how they're going towards the future with AI.
I mean, of course, I'd want to advance. Like, I want to take advantage of it, but I just think it gets to a point. Like, what I'm seeing is as AI develops more and we start utilizing it more in our everyday life, it's going to take away a lot of people's integrity because you're relying on this. You're having this thing speak for you, answer for you, come up with solutions for you. Then who are we? It's kind of like how over time we've kind of become a slave to GPS.
Okay.
Where like I will literally drive places. Maybe I can speak for myself. I don't know what street I'm on half the time. And sometimes I'll catch myself and I'll try to find a street sign so I can remember and feel like a human, you know, and I'm not just following blindly.
Yeah.
So that essence of like being like sheep to like a shepherd that is AI that is just controlling everything. It to me is scary. Like, but it's helpful. So it's kind of like I'm there up until a threshold.
So I feel like I said, I'm on the fence. So I'm not like all super crazy negative on it. I'm not super all creepy positive on it because there's a part where it's kind of like a gun. Like before, if you were a woman or if you were a small man or if you were just somebody that maybe were a little weaker in the past, right? And you had this big, bulky dude coming slicing and dicing,
Mhm.
right? You're gonna get sliced and diced. You're
Yeah.
not. You're, at the end of the day, the violence is gonna win. You're gonna get terminated, right?
Mhm.
But as soon as the gun came around, that was called the what? It was called the great equalizer. Why? Because you have now a young woman or a young man or whatever, whoever that person is, they have a gun. And no matter how big you are, I can shoot your ass. And if I
True.
shoot you and I put you down, boom.
But
It's an equalizer.
but you know what changes with AI though?
Hmm.
Because with a gun, I feel like you still control the gun, and you can try to be at. You're better than the gun, even though it can kill somebody better than you can. You're controlling it, and you can learn to be good at it.
Mhm.
With AI, off top, it's better than us. A calculator is better than us.
Mhm.
A handheld calculator. So at that point, I feel like we release some type of control, where we got this thing that not only did we created it to be better than us, but then it gets so much better than us. So I don't know. Like,
You
I
know,
would like to take advantage up to a certain point, right? Because they do have those like prosthetic limbs that they're
I
creating
mean,
from AI.
we are taking advantage. We have cell phones, we have computers, chess. People have been playing AI chess for how long? You've been playing against the computer for how long?
That's true.
So AI is not like new. It's been around for a long time. It just so happens now that it can write better than us. Like it's always been able to probably, but it can write kind of with emotion now. It can paint. It can do things. You know what's interesting about the AI that's coming out now is that the whole notion was like AI was supposed to take care of low-level jobs. Remember how
Yeah.
you seen like iRobot with Will Smith, right?
Mhm.
What was the AI doing? FedEx
FedEx delivery, factory,
deliveries,
like warehouse.
right? So you think it
Yeah.
was gonna be like an Uber? It was gonna take low-level jobs and
Mhm.
then
That's how it
eventually go
started.
to higher level jobs, and then go to like executive level jobs, and then finally get to like the creatives, right?
Mhm.
But but it seems as though it's kind of going backwards.
I think it's starting off at a higher level.
It's starting off at the creative. It already
Mm.
it's taken music. We did a whole
AI
AI
music
music
episode.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it is completely made by AI with SoundRaw, right?
Mhm.
And then we wrote the lyrics with ChatGPT.
AI
And it
music.
was
Yep.
just and this just came out a couple months ago.
Mhm.
But now they're saying that these different levels, ChatGPT 1, 2, 3, now we're on 4. They're saying that 4 is so much better than 3. And they like when 5 comes or 6 or 100 comes, yeah, I can see how it could be a scary thing because they're already better than us, right? They're going to take a lot of jobs, but they're
Mhm.
also going to create a whole new economy too.
I'm just wondering if it gets to a point where our identity starts to get all mixed up.
It's already mixed up.
Worse so.
Social media mixed us up
Like,
already. The algorithm is AI.
that's
YouTube
true.
algorithm is
So we're already
AI.
living in the doomed part.
It's I mean, I know like we already talking about like Terminator,
Yeah.
right? I'll be back, right?
I'll
Like
be back.
so with Terminator, they had that whole thing where they're against the resistance and they're trying to get through the revolution or whatever. But yeah, but like AI is here. Really? Every time I'm talking, I just got done talking to my dad. In the middle of the conversation, he said something that sounded like Siri, and Siri answered him. And he's on a video phone, video
Mhm.
call, which is probably AI too.
Yeah.
So I just think that I mean, really, technology's made a lot of our lives better.
Of course, I can
We
agree.
we could talk on the phone. You get the
Yeah.
Jetsons in real time. The only thing that we're not
Yes.
doing, the Jetsons was doing, is flying in the air,
Flying in
but we're
the
still
air.
flying.
Airplanes. Yeah.
Airplanes, we got buses in the air.
Yeah.
So like I get that. There's a lot of good. On the bad side, we're just not better than it. I don't think we can control it.
So, okay, well, do you think that it'll get to a point where we can't do without it?
I think we already are kind of there.
So you don't think that, do you think society is capable of going back to a simpler time where there's not even like internet, cell phones, like living off the land? Like, that almost sounds like it would happen after an apocalypse.
That was
Apocalypse caused by AI.
I think that the only way that we go back is if destruction happens, a meteor hits, something happens. And our consciousness would have to get wiped too, because we know that there's Wi-Fi. We know that there's internet. We know that there's different things like the fact that we can be able to film and do and all, like we know that this technology is here. But if we didn't know and our memories got wiped, then of course we can go back to that like time of rock and stone and stuff. I just don't think it's possible, to be honest.
We've come so far from that. I can see it would be major breaking down of our habits and our thought processes. Like,
So would you want to go back?
would I want to go back? No, because this is comfortable. Like, of course, like I said, there's that threshold where you enjoy it, you appreciate it, you use it, it makes you better, you feel better, you know more.
So would you want to go back knowing that it's going to kill us? Because it's not going to maybe kill you. It could, but it maybe kill, 2-3 generations down.
So would I still want to, like, would I still
Keep-
support or keep AI in the future? Have I known that it would kill us?
Mhm. You selfish. You're like,
If I knew it would kill us, I would have to say no, because then on that side, I'm getting a little spiritual.
okay, so
I'm getting more into the God realm of,
I hear you.
just being true to God and not being a slave to like what do they call it? Like idolatry, like idolizing something else.
I got you. But okay, so I had seen this comment on YouTube somewhere. I forgot where it was. It was an AI video though. But one of the comments said that maybe the purpose of humans was only to create AI.
Dang. Okay, so this is a weird question.
Mhm,
I know we don't know all the answers to everything in the world, right?
mhm.
But do you think that God supports AI? That's a weird question.
Yeah, that's a weird question. I have no idea. The AI
Like
makes
he
me
wanted AI.
AI makes me think about the Tower of Babel.
Tell me about that.
Like where the people tried to get together to build a building to heaven because they got, so much technology, so smart. They felt like they were that intelligent to build a tower to heaven, and then God ended up disrupting that and dispersing them throughout the earth and changing their
Changing the
language.
languages. That's
Right.
right.
So that's what AI feels to me. It feels like we're trying to build God, try to go to heaven, to make something that's going up.
Mhm.
And that's what it feels like to me. Now, we're trying to do a lot of things that are against our nature, right? We want to go to space more than we want to go into the sea. We have the sea here, but we're trying to navigate into
leave, yeah.
space, like with AI, it's making us into a potential cynical being where we're like this bio being, mechanical being that's some kind of like cyborg type,
See,
right?
now that I think about it, it's almost having us defy like natural causes,
And
like
to
live
me,
longer and all that.
can I say something?
Hmm.
You know how, and this is a little different, but you know how life has, at least in America, right? That's where we are. And at least in America, life has kind of changed a little bit, where the whole gender fluidity thing, and now you have, the man is the woman, the woman's the man, the man's a man.
It can
All
be
these,
whatever they want
you
to
have
be.
Zimz, all these different things, right? Whatever they are,
Mhm.
whoever people are. I'm thinking a part of that strategy is AI.
What do you
Because if you have AI, like if you can be able to inseminate a baby in a man or a woman, and if you can be able to change somebody's biology into a machine, why would you be a woman? You're a machine. You could be him, her, you could be whatever you want to be. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a what is it called? What are those things? Metaverse. It doesn't have to be in some kind of
It can be
VR.
real
It can
life.
be in real life.
Yeah.
Where you may date a robot, and the robot may seem like human because they're on ChatGPT 55.
Dang. See, all of this is just starting to make me feel like this is not the way the world was supposed to be. The
Yeah.
Tower of Babel, making us, what's the word where we're like, we never die? Immortal.
Immortal, yeah.
Like getting closer to that. Like people trying to, I saw an article the other day. This is kind of an old article, but it keeps popping up, where they're trying to freeze bodies to be able to, in the future, have the AI technology to bring people back.
See, that's crazy.
Like that is totally like beyond what I imagined the world was supposed to be.
It's, I mean, you just don't know. Humans have this insatiable like hunger to be better. It's like
better and better,
better. There's never,
Mhm.
even doesn't matter if we conquer the moon. Now we want to go to Mars. No matter if we conquer Mars. Now we want to go to freaking Pluto. It just, we want to continue to spread and be bigger and better. And what I'm worried about on the other side is AI thinks we're a virus.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Dang.
Because we're spread, we conquer, we eliminate, we because they're going to be so much better when you play video games against AI. which you have these different levels of AI, yet very easy all the way to very hard, and then sometimes you can unlock another level that's
We
like
can't win those.
legendary,
Yeah.
freaking I'm killing everybody mode, right? You put it on this legendary mode, and the AI does like a 360 no scope, pow, and you're dead. And it didn't even like aim at you. It's just like curve the bullet. And so like that part is crazy. The fact that they said the AI is gonna be moving so fast that a strobe light, you need a strobe light to be able to see it. Like the fact that it won't need Wi-Fi, it's gonna move off of things that we're gonna build probably within the cities. The safest places are gonna be the desolate places, I think, but then AI, I think, can stretch to those places now.
It can stretch, and then I feel like it's gonna get to a point where if you're personally against AI, you would need it to survive. Like what we've heard about the chips and using the chip to be able to pay for things or do things or have access or even go and like with the vaccine, right? Going to be able to be with me while I'm giving birth. You know, like there's so you and essentially I feel like it'll get to the point where like you cannot live a normal life if you don't give into it.
So if I was to choose a life between this one and that one, me personally, I would do this one more than that one.
More than what?
More than an AI-driven world, all the way AI, robotics, the cyborgs, things like that. If I go extreme, the reason is because what's real?
That's what I'm saying. It takes away integrity.
Like what's real? You don't know if this person you're talking to is real. They're talking about having safe words for kids. Like I don't know if y'all know this, but they talk about having like a safe word where since your kid's voice can be mimicked by this AI technology and their facial features can be mimicked by AI like deepfake, it can be mimicked. These people are like scammers are now using AI to call parents and have the money given to them because they're panicking and it's coming from their kid's mouth and voice and everything else. So they're like, yeah, that part is scary, but that's still a human behind it. Imagine artificial, but that's like dystopian.
Yeah,
that's 1984ish, right? What if you go utopian,
where everything's great?
Yeah, where it's sick.
I don't think we live in a world like that.
I'm just saying, like where I know because of people want to.
Everybody's got a different agenda. They got opinions. They're gonna want an AI that does the opposite of what the previous AI did.
But what if it did though? What if it was like utopian?
Like, I mean, that would be amazing.
Like,
you'd be spoiled.
You could end world hunger, which I don't know if they'll do, but if they did
to maintain control, huh?
100%, right? Yeah. But like you could end world hunger. You can now ask AI to create inventions because it can think way better than us.
Way better.
So they say like create an invention based on whatever that could help us now be in space.
See, I wonder what we do with our lives if AI is doing everything. Like it's creating art, it's doing the surgery on the sickest people, it's inventing things. Like, what do we do? Like, I almost feel like it's gonna make us restart. Like kind of go back to some form of a basic once it gets so developed. You don't see that. You know how they say history repeats itself kind of as like a cycle? I feel like it's going to get so advanced to where we're like, well, shoot, I don't have to brush my own teeth. I don't have to buy my own groceries. I don't even have to wipe my own butt.
Well, I think Matrix came out like 24, 25 years ago, something like that, right? So in the Matrix, it was AI. Pretty much you're in this Matrix-driven world and the humans weren't in the world. They were all batteries for the machines. That's what they were. They were in this incubation that from a baby all the way to adult, you don't know you're that because they take your consciousness and put you into the Matrix so that you feel like you're living.
You know, when I was a kid, I always had thoughts like if that's really what was happening with us and this is just our conscience and we're just in some type of pod or like we're just a little embryo that they put in a lab and we're really advanced, but they're testing things on us.
Man, that part is kind of freaky though. But all right, going back to the smoking gun. Do you think that AI is going to put a level playing field between everybody? The millionaires, the billionaires, the executives, the mainstream workers, the plumbers?
It's already starting to because I don't know if you would consider like what do you call it, like Bitcoin and things like that, and the ability to do that a part of AI. Maybe it is because it's the apps developed to be able to connect everybody because we're using these old computers back in the older days in the 80s and the 90s to do these, to buy stocks and stuff. And now anybody can do it. A broke guy on the corner can be able to come up on some on what's that one stock that went crazy? GameStop.
GameStop.
Anybody can do it now. So I think it's already starting to create a level playing field. Now I think the question is going
They
to be,
cheat though.
but I think what they're going to do
Mhm.
is they're going to make it to where you have to have a certain amount of money to be able to start to like not only control an AI,
Mhm.
but like have it. I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like you're gonna have still there's still gonna be a little bit of a separation where the people with the more money can do a little bit more,
Yeah.
but at a common basis of being able to make money and create a dope resume and have it create awesome art for you, anybody can do
You
that.
know, I'm thinking, but what I'm thinking it's gonna do is the powers that be are going to try to use AI to control the populace as much as possible because I think they're going to try to like have it to where they can see you at home. They can see you they already can kind of, right? But then now they can listen to you and decipher it and put it into different like they can do it to make money. They can do it to control you. There's little things right now where we still can hold power. We're not to not be controlled, right? But eventually, if you have control over AI, then drones are freaking flying 200 at a time, spelling things in order, like where we can see it with lights and stuff. That's crazy. So to think about drones, imagine drones being able to just like fly
Pop
through
up
the
on
city,
you, come
like
up to your window, survey your house.
imagine it being able to repo your stuff.
Oh,
A drone, get your stuff, gone. Repo, done.
You done gave somebody an idea. Hey, you better get your credit.
I'm just, you get what I'm saying though? Like there's so many things that can be able to happen. And that part is scary, right? Because the control aspect of it. And how do you escape? Because it probably can go anywhere.
Dang, you know what I just thought about? I feel like AI will get to the point where they try to create the perfect human with the perfect features, the perfect attributes, like good, like genetically good at sports, genetically tall, like whatever they think the perfect human is. I feel like that's coming.
See, like, is that human? So, like, the thing is this though. This is what I'm worried about when it comes to AI. Consciousness. Because the moment that because people are freaking people.
Yeah.
And the moment that people feel like this AI robot has feelings, feels pain,
start giving the robot rights,
gets threatened, doesn't, and it's simulating these things. It's a simulation. But the moment that we think, because we're very empathetic creatures, right? The moment that we think that this thing is real, yes, we're gonna start giving it everything we have.
Ooh, you know what I'm about to call out right now? And I wonder if it's gonna happen in our lifetime.
What's that?
People are gonna start marrying AIs.
Oh, 100%. People marry dogs.
They marry dolls and dogs, but they are going to marry an AI that looks, walks, and talks just like a man or a woman.
I guarantee it. If it's not Netflix, it's gonna be a Netflix type that's gonna broadcast Married with AI. Watch. Y'all put it in the comments. Y'all think that's gonna happen? I guarantee something like that is
it's bound to happen.
Because that's people. They want the thing that. What about like
love and emotion?
Like who would want like I get it, right? I guess AI, if you can control it, right, then it's probably the perfect husband or the perfect wife. But then there's a little bit of something where you need a little bit of agitation, but then you can dial it into your AI where she agitates a little bit. No, that's too much. Just dial it back.
A little less humor, a little more anger. Like you can totally. And then I'm imagining not only can they create the perfect human, they can create the perfect consciousness. Like they can create like to be as mentally smart as an AI. So it'll be someone that looks like you, but can do just like Chat GPT can.
So what's about to happen then? Like, I know that we're not experts in this field, right?
Right. We're not, can't wait till we start. Disclaimer, we're not experts.
We start like interviewing people in this field and seeing what they really have to say. Some people are going to be probably super optimistic. Some people are going to be super pessimistic about it. I have an optimistic, pessimistic view on the whole thing because I do feel like it's already better than us and it's in its infancy stage right now. It's going to continue to get better. There's nothing that we can do to stop it. And as far as like it being a weapon, if it chose to be a weapon against us, it's going to be killed. But not only if it chose, what about the other governments that don't like us? Because if in America stopped, like China ain't about to stop, Russia ain't about to stop, any other countries ain't about to stop, they're gonna be like, oh, they stupid. They stop.
They
We
probably
keeping
already
it
getting
going.
into our AI over here
Oh, I'm
in
sure they
America,
are.
and they probably using it against
But they're
us.
feverishly probably going for it.
Yeah.
And so like now we're in this nuclear race again, right? But like AI is different because with nuclear bombs, if you throw one, no matter how big or small, it's gonna cause some catastrophic, stuff. But with AI, you can tune it down.
You can.
But like how can you go to war with AI? We're
See,
gonna have AI versus AI?
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like AI has the potential to bring the world together.
Like peacefully?
Almost forcefully.
Okay, explain.
Like, because I feel like there's gonna be something that happens where the financial structure of the world is gonna be one common ground. You're not gonna have rupees and dollars and like all these different forms of
But then
currency.
that sucks. That sucks. I like having dollars that I can stash underneath a mattress somewhere.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about physical dollars, just the financial system where people in other countries don't have their own currency. Like they're like, you go to Mexico
Like
and there's
they got.
pesos. Like it's gonna all be the same digital AI
I don't
currency.
like that. I don't like
I mean,
that.
that's what we already have that.
I know, but I don't like that because who's to say that they don't just say, oh, well, you know what? Cayla didn't do. She didn't do what we asked
She
her to
didn't pay her
do.
taxes on time. Cut her off.
Yeah, like forget even taxes. What if you just didn't do what they wanted you to do?
She didn't
What
get
if
the
you didn't
vaccine.
vote
Cut her off.
how
She
they
didn't
wanted
vote.
you to vote?
Wow.
Like why? Like now, hey, let's eliminate her livelihood
Her family's
because
not gonna eat as much this month.
they're gonna have to figure something else out. Like, you see what I'm saying? That right there is crazy. In the moment that we get flotations, right? Like we get this flotation stuff, they're gonna have floating jails. For real. You don't think so?
Of course.
They're gonna have a floating
They can do
jail.
whatever they think of. I think they could have floating oceans. Like
They do. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Now this is the bigger issue. What is AI gonna do to religion?
Well, I think AI. I personally think, my opinion, AI goes against religion.
Okay.
So, what do I think it's going to do
AI
to religion?
completely. All AI goes against religion.
Yes, I think it does.
Phones and all that stuff.
I mean, I don't see anything in the Bible that supports like the advancement where we create something more powerful than us, because that to me mimics a god.
Interesting. But like how far does that level go? Because I would push back on that, right? How far does that go? Because I can take it extreme and say AI is technology, but so is a shovel. And a shovel can be able to dig better than us. You see what I'm saying? Machines can do better than us, even if it's under our control, so to speak. So like I'm not really in the same camp of like it's against religion, but explain to me, how do you like, where does that start?
See,
when we go to
I think that
consciousness or what?
I think that it takes away our will. I think it takes away the free will that we have to be able to follow what we want to follow, because we become a slave to it, because it's almost like we need it.
I think
the only way to keep free will is to stay away from it.
True, but I think the only way it takes away our free will is if we get chips implanted in us and it takes over our brains. If it takes over, if we end up cyborging out and now we can't think for ourselves because they can install an ad in your mind, that's when I think that it's different.
Okay, so years ago, I went to this church service where the pastor was really talking about the chip and how it's going to change our lives and control things. And of course, that pastor was against it because his
AI.
take. Not all AI, just the chip.
I think I'm against the chip too.
Yeah. So I think the idea is like, what do you do like as a believer?
You die.
Where like society gets to a point where they make you have this chip, and and the only way you can survive is if you have the chip, because you can't get food and water and shelter without it.
You gotta fight and you die.
So you don't get the chip as a believer then. So that's why I'm saying, what is AI gonna do to religion? I feel like it eliminates it.
Yeah. Or you can have a religious AI that protects it.
You're like on another level. Like an AI God, or it's like AI for Jesus.
Like AI for Jesus.
Hey, we need to get that patent.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For real, because how else are you gonna, like, at the end of the day, violence is the end of it, right? But if you believe in a God that's bigger than AI, which I do, I believe in a God that's bigger than AI.
I think God can shut everything down.
Whether I think that as far as like I believe that the powers that be are going to try to force things. I straight up think that, because that's kind of how it
It's
works.
already kind of happening.
If you don't do what we say, we're gonna have to make you do it. Maybe we'll incentivize you some kind of way, because you like to eat, you like to drink, you need your
You
shelter,
like
you need your stuff,
money.
you like your money, you want your kids to go to good schools. We can stop all that if you don't XYZ. And that is scary to me, because this is supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave, but sometimes it seems like the freedom is a little challenged at times, right? I love this country, but there's certain times where I'm like, man, that's scary
Yep.
for an individual like person. That's scary.
Yeah. So look, and I'm not trying to go about this conversation in like inciting fear, because I'm not living in fear of
Mhm.
AI, but I just feel like it is going to get to a point where we can't control it.
Final thoughts. Are we gonna go to overtime or not?
I think we go for final thoughts.
So, okay.
What's your final thoughts?
My final thought is, I think that it's important to learn about coding. It's important to learn about the language of robotics, the language of, because they're going to be able to code better than us, be better than us. Everything's going to be better than us, but we need to still be able to understand their language if they have the potential to take over.
Okay.
What's your final thought?
I feel like I'm left with a little bit of a question, because I'm starting to feel like, do I become more of an expert in the AI field to survive? Do I find a balance with that and the spiritual life?
I
Am
think
I overthinking it?
if at the end of the day, and maybe this is crazy, but as a believer, Jesus first, God first.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use AI for God until I can't anymore.
AI for Jesus.
AI for Jesus.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that is crazy. I think there's a lot more in this subject, because man, the type of place that our daughters and sons are growing in, way different. It changed so much from us not even having cell phones to us now being able to like create a cell phone from AI now.
Mhm.
Like we can do whatever we want, make video games, do whatever we want.
Yep.
And I just think it's going to take a lot of power. I hope we don't. What's scary, and I finish off, what's scary to me, the scary part is that the smartest people that we believe are like the smartest people right now, like the Elon Musks of the world, and even the guy that created OpenAI, I forgot his name, but him and his team, they're scared of AI. So
That's
like,
big.
and Elon went to talk to the president about the dangers of AI and to stop OpenAI because of how dangerous it could potentially be for us. I think we're on a bike with one wheel with no handlebars that's running itself. And if we, I think if we're not careful, well, I think we could get eliminated seriously. Like that's serious. But the other side, you're kind of in this conundrum where if we stop and they don't stop,
We
now
get left
we could be
behind.
slaves to them.
Yep.
So like, how do
Dang.
you do it? I think the only way to solve it is God, really. So for a believer, this should bring you closer to God.
It should.
It shouldn't take you away from God. AI is not going to be God, because man, you can't, your master can't create its master,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to be able to live by that master's rules, So if anything, it's a wild conversation. It can go anywhere, but right now, I think we take advantage of what it can do for us, and for pushing what we need to push.
For
Make sure
real.
that
While we still feel consciously like in a good place.
yeah, but eventually,
It's going down.
it's about to go down.
iRobot
I hope not.
2020 something.
I know we over time right now. One
Yep.
thing is you look good, baby.
You look good too, but your cute AI self.
How you know I'm real?
I don't, but I know you make real babies.
I do make real. Man, imagine if they make a baby.
I just birthed a robot, like, and the hands just come out like.
Speaking
Mama.
Mandarin from the jump,
Konnichiwa.
and then you could just like tune it so it can change the
I
language.
know.
It start clicking. Like,
Oh no, not that far back into Africa. Let's bring it back to African American.
oh yeah, I like my African brothers and sisters out there.
No, I'm just saying the baby, the dial tone.
Okay. Anyway, Yeah, that's a crazy combo. It's apocalyptic, but I'm hoping that we can just approach this thing smarter. That if we see it coming, I don't think we'd be afraid of it, but I think we get ahead of it as far as like knowing that it's
Knowing
coming.
it, learning it, studying it.
And I pray that the whoever is creating it, and I think the one thing that I heard on the podcast, like one thing that we can do to help AI, and I think this is important to say, is to be kind to each other. Because AI is just mimicking what humans do to each other.
Yeah.
And so it's learning from our interactions with each other. So like on the podcast, I forgot who said it. I wish I can give him credit, but like on the podcast, say if we're kind to each other, then the AI will learn that humans are kind to one another. And so maybe, you know, if we can have conversations like 168s, where we can bring things that are bothering us to the surface and find a common ground that we can really believe in, then that can help set this AI to be aligned with our interests instead of being something that wants to be cynical and be by itself.
Kind of seems like we got to solve world peace first.
So, yeah, so we got to love on each other, y'all. And I think we can do that with having more conversations that are stronger and deeper. And you know, if you have relationships that are on the rocks right now, sit kneecap to kneecap, and you know, maybe you're not having a 167 with them, but have that last hour with them and chop it up.
Yeah,
because that's what this is all about, having real conversations. But yeah,
this is 168.
It is, and I'm Drew, and this is my girl.
I'm Cayla.
Love y'all. Hey, make sure if you, whatever you guys are listening to this, make sure you hit the 5 stars on any kind of podcasting format. And if you're on YouTube, if you're not on YouTube, subscribe. But if you are on YouTube, make sure I hit that noti bell after you subscribe and like this, so the AI can know that, you know, y'all like this content.
Yeah, we're trying to use AI right now, like,
you know, so the AI can, you know, the non-religious AI can help us get, you know, see more people. We can help more people, you know, band together and create a community that wants to actually not have us divided no more, wants to bring us together. And I'm excited for that, man. So love y'all. Peace. They used to say peace and hair grease.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Brand new caddy.